racing? Well, first, the car must be registered so that all of its times and speeds recorded are furnished to the right driver and his mechanics, later to be used as a guide in their tune-up work. And after all of the book work is out of the way, trailer it into the inspection area for a wait in line and some bench racing with fellow racers. Comparing notes isn't uncommon, for drag racers are a friendly group, eager to help one another with tips on performance and even supplying parts when an opponent gets into trouble with broken equipment. First, the scales, for weight will determine the class. Trained officials carefully work the scales to be sure everything's on the up and up. The car is weighed both with and without the driver for an accurate measure. Next, the critical safety inspection, where experts such as Jim Dale, a professional drag racing tech man, combs the car to detect the slightest flaw or rules infraction, which could be reason for a mishap at high speeds. If you can't make it through this line, you just don't race until everything's fixed up. Once the tech man signs his name on the dotted line and gives the driver his okay, it's time to get busy. There's racing to be done. There are 13 different categories in which a car can compete in drag racing, and more than 70 classes in those categories. Each car must be clearly numbered, and the class and category of competition must be easy to see, for the complexities of efficient recording demand quick identification of a car. When the car pulls to the starting line, recorders quickly enter the class and number on their timing sheet, and as soon as the car completes its run, the elapsed time and speed are entered. The driver receives a copy of this information on a time slip, which can be used as the final judge in a car's performance. As we mentioned earlier, everything must be checked before a race, and since the drag racing machines only run for a short time, they carry very little fuel. Refueling between each run is usually necessary. In drag racing, the safety of the driver is of utmost importance. Here, driver Les Allen gets ready for a run. He must first get into his driving suit, which is fully insulated and heat reflective to protect him in the event of a fire. Drivers must wear leather shoes, preferably boots, and to complete the protection, a fireproof face mask is also used with goggles, and then the crash helmet, which is jokingly referred to by the drivers as a lid skid. Seem like a lot of trouble? Well, imagine traveling at 200 miles per hour and a fire breaks out right in front of you. That fire suit could save a life. The car, too, is well equipped for protection. The driver's head fits into a compartment just below the roll bar, and he's tightly strapped in with shoulder harness and seat belts in case of a rollover. Into the staging lights. We followed 16-year-old Les Allen into Riverside International Raceway. Since he began this morning, he's just completed his first run. Les, you've just turned in a time of 169 miles per hour. Are you happy with your run?
Well, we expect more than that.
I know you've only had this machine in operation for a little over a month. You yourself have only been driving for 4 or 5 months. What do you anticipate as being the top speed?
Well, 180 should be the top, 185.
180, 185. How many times a month do you plan to drive this Fuel Dragster?
How many times a month? Well, every weekend, 5 times a day.
Do you feel you're learning each time you handle the wheel?
You learn every time.
What are the things you feel you have to work on most?
Well, just controlling the car mostly.
Well, let's hope we see you soon in the victory circle.
Okay.
Qualifying runs for a place in